Hey folks, Eric here with a channel update and a book haul, a very random book haul, because I know that's really what brings the people in. But I just wanted to address some things about my channel. The biggest thing is the my favorite horror with. I did 30 some, I don't know how many episodes in a row. Didn't miss a week, but that's going to change. I don't have any interviews scheduled at the moment. And I do have a couple people who are potential. We'll see. But I'm really getting burned out at work. They're putting us on a lot of hours. And as much as I enjoy what I do, the company I work for, just an example, a couple weeks ago we were scheduled for 50 hours. That's 10-hour days. I know people work longer days than that. I get paid based on how much work I get done, how quickly I get it done. And it's not just a general, if you get this many of this done, this is how much you make. Every single thing I do has a different rate on it. So, scheduled for 50 hours, because apparently there's so much work to be done. And yet, I spent hours sitting around waiting for work. And I don't get paid for that time. If I was getting paid for that, fine. I'll sit there and do nothing while they dig up some work for me. But I don't get paid for that. And it's weighing down on me. So, plus with all the hours, I can't stay up to do these interviews. So that's just it's not canceled or anything. I mean, it was just kind of almost a lark that I started it to begin with, but it's just kind of be whenever I do one. It'll be whenever I feel like it, whenever I get somebody, think of somebody to ask, or somebody says they want to be on the show, but it's not going to be every Thursday. The one coming up as of this recording will be the last regularly scheduled My Favorite Horror With episode. Oh, and the other thing is, for some reason, Skype is being a dick and keeps cutting out after 30 to 40 minutes, and I have to call the person back and then release two parts, which oddly people don't watch the both parts don't have the same number of views. But it's annoying. I don't have any editing stuff on my computer. There's the basic thing that came with the computer, and I put together two videos, edited them together, and then went to upload it to YouTube, and it was taking so long. I went to bed. When I got up in the morning, it still had not uploaded to YouTube, so that's not going to work. So I don't know, until I can figure out why Skype keeps dropping. And it's weird because it's always around 30 to 40 minutes. And then when I call back, we can talk for another hour and a half without a problem. I don't get it, but it annoys me. I would guess it annoys the people I have on the show, and I don't know if it annoys you or not. You can let me know in the comments below if you find that annoying. So that's My Favorite Horror With, what's going to happen with that. As for book reviews, I have 3 recorded at this moment. But again, because I'm working so many hours, I don't know that I'll have 2 a week after those 3 are burned off. I don't know that I'll have read enough to be posting 2 a week. I'm not stopping. I just don't know that I'll have enough material read. Plus, I need to catch up on my comic books. So I need to set a little time aside. The stack is getting way too high. I'm too far behind. I have to catch up on the comics. So, hopefully, I can keep up with the book reviews. But once I get caught up on the comics, and maybe if the hours get cut a little bit, I'll get back up to speed. Plus, I'm reading a trilogy right now, and I want to read all 3 books in a row. And they're all, they're not huge, but they're not novellas. And usually, when I'm hurting for video stuff, if I know I've run out of reviews, I can crank out some novellas. I can read those pretty quickly, but I want to get this trilogy done. So just so you know, book reviews aren't going away. They just might slow down a little bit. I will still have a reading remembrances every week and comic book pull list every week when I pick up my comics. As a matter of fact, I can tell you right now that this week's, again, as of this recording, this week's will be a day late because I have to wait till payday because there's some big stuff that came in. But it'll still go up. And I do have some other little like random things that I'd like to do. I can still record videos that aren't book reviews. So I want to do some publisher spotlights, maybe show off some shelves. That's always very random, apparently. But I think I can do that. So there'll be videos, just not necessarily my favorite horror with, and not necessarily a bunch of reviews for now. It'll all go back to normal eventually. Let's address this shiny reflective dome. It's summertime's coming. It's hot. So I shaved it all off. I cut my ear badly enough that I needed to put a Band-Aid on it. But because of the way I record things, I don't want people getting confused. Obviously, this video, no hair, Band-Aid on the ear. If you watch the next 5 videos, 6 videos in a row that I post, we got no hair. Next video, I'm going to have hair. The next 2 videos, actually, that's not true. The next video will be no hair. Then I'll have hair again. Then I'll have no hair. Hair again. And then I think no hair. So it's going to go back and forth. Plus 3 videos in a row, because I record all these at the same time. There's going to be a Band-Aid on my ear. So don't freak out. Just because my hair status keeps jumping back and forth. I think that's really all I have to say about the channel. Again, I'm not going anywhere. Just work driving me crazy, burning me out. So things might just slow down for the tiniest little bit. We'll see. All right, now what you're all here for. I should have put my little extra table over here because I don't know where I'm going to put these books as I show them to you. This is just a bunch of stuff. Not even everything, but a bunch of stuff I've gotten since the last book haul. Most of it's from online. Some of it's from Barnes & Noble. And I'm just going to start showing you stuff and tossing it aside. Not literally tossing it, because that would be horrible. Horrible way to treat books. So let's start with Leech, John C. Foster, from Ghoulish Books, which is part of Perpetual Motion Machine Publishing. I subscribed to the Ghoulish Books subscription service, which means I got You Can't See It. I have a tote bag, membership card, a coffee mug, stickers, a bunch of cool, I guess that's the membership card, gives me 10% off. But this was the latest from them that got sent to me. I believe the subscription was for 6 books. And this is number 4. So there you go. And then we have Zombicide. Planet Havoc, by Tim Wagner from Aconite. There you go. And this is based on the Zombicide Invader game. That's an iteration of the zombie game, Zombicide, that takes place in space. Tim Wagner, great author. I like Aconite's stuff. This is the second Zombicide book. I have the first one. I'm gonna get them all. I actually today just pre-ordered the Marvel Zombies Zombicide board game. But there you go. Planet Havoc, Zombicide Invaders. Another one from Aconite. This is Marvel Crisis Protocol Shadow Avengers by Carrie Harris. As I said, it's from Aconite. So Marvel Crisis Protocol is a Marvel miniatures game. You actually have to buy the miniatures kit because you have to put them together, I believe, and then you can paint them, of course. And it's a miniatures game in the fashion of Warhammer, I believe. You have to set up your battlefield, whatever you want to call it, and measure your distances and all that stuff. But this is the second novel based on that. So the authors have to use characters that are available in the game. This novel, it's got obviously Spider-Man, Doctor Strange, Ms. Marvel, Black Panther. Back here is, I believe that's Luke Cage. We got Venom over here. All characters that I love. Very excited for this one. Oh, goodness. Get a good shot of that Band-Aid when I do that. We have Room 138 by J. Wilburn and Armand Rosamilia from Madness Heart Press. There you go. This is it's time travel, time loop kind of story. Obviously, I haven't read any of these. This is just book haul, so I can't tell you much. But I look forward to reading this. I like this type of story. Then we have The Book of the Most Precious Substance by Sarah Gran. This is her newest from Dreamland Books, Los Angeles. The only thing I've read by Sarah Gran is Come Closer. It was a fantastic book. So I really look forward into reading more of her stuff. And since this was her newest, I figured it was the one I should pick up. But I'm definitely getting more from Sarah Gran. Fantastic author. And this is about a book. The Witch is the Body. Stories by Farrah Rose Smith. I'm trying to read this backwards. I love this cover. And I believe it is by, let's see if it will tell me, Matthew Revert, or Revert. I never know how to pronounce his name. Fantastic cover artist. And basically, this is what caught my eye. I'm not familiar with Farrah Rose Smith, but it's a collection of short stories that sound interesting, and I really love that cover. Brother by Anaya Allborn, and from Simon & Schuster. I believe this first came on my radar because Adam Seizure, or as Adam Cesare, as I like to call him, recommended this on his YouTube channel, Black Bedsheet Books, whatever his channel's called. And it's got some family cannibal stuff going on. It's supposed to be really good, so I'm going to trust Adam. Ladies' Night by Jack Ketchum from Macabre Inc. And this is just me catching up on some of the Jack Ketchum that I don't have. And some people have mentioned this to me. So figured I'd grab it. It's a nice little book. And, I love Jack Ketchum. All right. The Doctor's Demons by Maria Abrams. I love this cover. This is one of my favorite covers so far this year. This is from Clash Books, and I believe this is a Lynn Hansen cover. Yes, Lynn Hansen. Such a fantastic cover artist, and this is so evocative of the paperbacks from Hell era. I had to pick this up. It sounds interesting, and got to support Lynn Hansen. Got a little more Aconite Books action going. This is Assassin's Creed Valhalla Sword of the White Horse by Elsa Sonoson. I don't know how to say that. I apologize. As I said, Aconite. And obviously a story that takes place in the Assassin's Creed Valhalla oeuvre. I have a couple other. I think this is only the third of the Assassin's Creed books from Aconite. I have the other two. And, oh man, the next one, the cover, so awesome. But I think this is going to be a good read. Something I had to order as soon as it came out, and I had the funds. Sometimes those two things don't always line up. The Fervor by Alma Katsu, her latest. I absolutely loved Red Widow. I have that in hardback. I can see it from where I'm sitting. So, had to get this one. And I want to read all of these right now. But of course I can't. So, but this is probably going to be pretty close to the top of my TBR. My giant TBR. All right. That's the first stack of stuff I had. Maybe I should speed this up. Hardcore Kelly, Wrath James White, Cemetery Dance publications. There you go. This cover, it's a giant battle axe, but every time I look at it, it looks to me like she's leaning on a microphone stand. Love Wrath James White. Looking forward to digging into this one. And it's I don't know. It's murder competition. Not sure, but I'll find out when I read it. A Woman Built by Man, edited by S.H. Cooper and Ellie Turpett. And this is from Cemetery Gates Media. And it's an anthology with, let's see, just to give you a taste, Laurel Hightower, Gemma Amore, Ellie Turpett, Reggie Caldart, Haley Piper, Amanda Michelle, Olivia White, Jill Palmer, just tons and tons of great female authors. It's a really wild cover. I can't remember if I saw this. I think maybe Haley Piper posted something about it on Twitter, since she has a story in here. So I put it on my wish list. And again, as soon as I had the funds available, grabbed it. Here we go. Dead Jack and the Pandemonium Device by James Aqualone. And this is from Homunculus House. I like that. It's got a Jonathan Mayberry blurb on the front. So, how bad can it be? That's a horrible thing to say. I absolutely love this cover. That is fantastic. I think there's 2 or 3 books in this series. It's one of those sort of, is he an undead private eye? I think it looks like it. And he's got this little sidekick apparently. Just looks like fun. Good pulpy horror fun. Then we have An Unholy Thirst, 15 Vampire Tales, edited by Cliff Biggers and Charles R. Rutledge. I follow Charles R. Rutledge on Twitter. He always has really interesting to me tweets with comic book stuff and horror stuff. And this, just the cover gives me like a Hammer horror vibe. I don't know if that's what the stories are going to be doing, but this should be interesting. You've got a new Sonia Blue story by Nancy A. Collins. That's amazing. A new Bubba the Monster Hunter story by John G. Hartness. A new Jonathan Crowley Carter DeCamp story by James A. Moore and Charles R. Rutledge. I mean, that's amazing. And Lee Murray, Kat Scully, Jeff Strand, a bunch of great authors. Couldn't pass it up. Pavane Press, by the way. Then we have, this is sort of, feels like an outlier, Blonde Faith by Walter Mosley. An Easy Rollins novel. I try to get the next one that I need, the next Easy Rollins book that I need every time I order online. This one was a little harder to get. I want them all in paperback, and this one was not as readily available as the others. And this is, you know what? You're going to watch me count. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This is the 11th book. I think I have 3 more on the list. But there you go. Loves me some Easy Rollins, Walter Mosley. Once I have all the Easy Rollins books, I'll start getting his non-Easy Rollins books. Another one that's slightly different. This is Stars and Bones by Gareth L. Powell, author of the Macabre trilogy, which is fantastic. I called it cyber pulp because it has a cyberpunk feel, steampunk-ish feel because there's Zeppelins, but a very pulpy kind of feel to me. Anyway, loved those books. I have his other trilogy and some of his other stuff. And then this maybe part of a new series. I don't know. I feel like it. I saw that it was like the first book, but I don't know. But it's some straight up science fiction goodness with a cat who is the captain of a starship. A snarky talking cat. Look forward to this as well. I'm going to say that far too often. Of course, I look forward to reading all of these. This one I actually got from my comic book store, but it is prose. If you watch my comics pull list, though you've already seen this, but this is Criminal Macabre, the complete Cal Mcdonald stories by Steve Niles. This is from Dark Horse Books, and it's exactly what it says, the complete prose Cal Mcdonald stories. He's a private eye in a world of monsters. His partner is a ghoul. And this has a couple novellas, some novellas, and some short stories. I have most of this already, but there is some stuff in here that's new to this. So I had to pick it up. Nice, fat, great book. I love Cal Mcdonald. The Cal Mcdonald stuff. The prose stuff is great. The comic book stuff is great. Fantastic character. All right, this is something I picked up at Barnes & Noble. I've seen this on some people's lists, recommendations, and stuff, so I finally grabbed a copy. This is Whisper Down the Lane by Clay McLeod Chapman. Again, reading backwards, so hopefully I'm doing that okay. This has a satanic panic thing to it, I believe, which is something I'm into. So this hopefully will be very interesting. It's a time jump, 2 different timelines type of story, I believe. This is something I've been seeing on people's Twitter feeds, and I think this was like, I may have picked this up like the week it came out. This is Dark Stars, New Tales of Darkest Horror, edited by John F.D. Taff. And this is from Nightfire. And it has, let's see, it actually has all new stories. Who have we got? Caroline Kepnes, author of the You series. I love the series on Netflix. I have not read the books. Ramsey Campbell, Livia Llewellyn, Stephen Cram Jones, Chesia Burke, Alma Katsu, Gemma Files, Josh Mallerman. Just to name a few. Some great authors. This is supposed got some great blurbs on the back. Supposed to be really, really good stuff. And I picked up The Hunger by Alma Katsu. Because the only thing I've read by her so far is Red Widow, and I loved it, so I need to go back and rectify my mistakes. So I picked up The Hunger. I'm going to pick up the one that followed this that I want to say is called The Deep, but I'm not sure. But I look forward to, again, there I am saying it again, look forward to this. All right, one more pile. let's just grab both of these at the same time. This is Beneath by Christy DeMeester, and this is Everything That's Underneath by Christy DeMeester. I read Such a Pretty Smile and by Christy DeMeester. That book blew me away. I read it in one day. It was so fantastic, and I got to interview her on My Favorite Horror With, so I had to pick up her other stuff, and I really look forward to her next book. And I look forward to reading these. There I go again saying how much I look forward to reading stuff. Back to Aconite. This is The Fractured Void, a Twilight Imperium novel by Tim Pratt. As I said, Aconite. This is back when they were doing fancy paperbacks with the fold-out things. Based on a board game, Twilight Imperium, very popular board game that takes like 8 to 10 hours to play. I've never played it, but I like Aconite. I trust them. It's sci-fi. If it's anything like the other Aconite books I've read based on game properties, you don't have to have played the game to get into the book. It's just that if you do play the game, you get a little extra something out of it. But this is the first in a trilogy. 3 books. Don't know if they all tie together because I haven't read any of them yet, and this is the first one I've gotten. I try to get like Aconite every time I order online as well. Good stuff. Oh, how could you not want this book? Pteranodon Canyon by Tim Meyer from Evil Epic Press. I like Tim Meyer. Great author. Nice guy. He's a final guy. And cowboys and dinosaurs. See, I don't even need to say anything else. You're already in. This one, again, probably pretty high on my TBR. Attack from the 80s, edited by Eugene Johnson. This is another one from Cemetery Dance, and it's an anthology of 80s inspired, 80s set horror stories. I believe this is, I started to say something with Dark Stars, but I was actually thinking of this. This has, I believe, it's 2 stories that are reprints, and then everything else is new to this. And you have got Joe Lansdale, Casey Lansdale, Weston Oakes, Lisa Morton, Grady Hendrix, Tim Wagoner, Christina, I don't know how to say her last name, I apologize, Stephanie M. Witovich, Jess Landry, F. Paul Wilson, John Skip, many more. I love that cover. I love the idea of this. Just 80s inspired and set horror. Seems like so much fun. Another one I had to order as soon as it came out, and I had the funds. Insomnia by Sarah Pinborough. I've been a fan of Sarah Pinborough since she was writing pulpy horror novels for leisure books. I have all of them right over there. And she's transitioned into other things. She is an amazing writer. This mentions Behind Her Eyes, which I thought was a fantastic book. I know it's a bit divisive, but I loved it, and I'm really, I keep saying it, but I really look forward to reading this. I'm always excited for new Sarah Pinborough. How about Alien Colony War by David Barnett? This is from Titan Books. It's an alien novel. One in a whole bunch that have been announced lately. And I can't wait for the next batch. V. Castro has one coming out. Mary San Giovanni has one coming out. Will this tell me the other one? Because I hate... Ooh, look at that. Folded pages. I hate that I can't remember. It's like Filipina. I was hoping this would tell me, but it does not look like it. This has listed the next set. The next batch, I shouldn't say set. But yeah, I'm looking forward to those. The covers for some of those are fantastic. I haven't seen the cover for the Mary San Giovanni, but the V. Castro one looks great. The other one, and I really, really wish I could remember the author's name, Filipina. I swear that's what it is. Something. I apologize if I'm completely off. It's like Sue. But man, the cover for that one looks really fantastic. But anyway, always excited to get a new Alien novel. Back to Aconite. This is Zachareth, a descent. Trying to read that. Legends of the Dark. This is, again, from Aconite, based on a Fantasy Flight board game. It's what they call a dungeon crawl, where you are explorers. You lay out the tiles as you go. You're attacked by monsters. I think the latest edition is app-driven, which is nice. Some people like a one versus many game, where one person is all of the monsters and sort of runs the game. Not like a dungeon master. They just run the mechanics of it. Everybody else is the explorers. And Fantasy Flight has updated a number of their games where an app runs the game and everybody can be an investigator. But I've already got the first 3 Descent books that Aconite has done, and I really dig that. Those look like a little more colorful. The covers anyway are more colorful, adventurous. This has a darker look to it, and the character has to choose between a light path and a dark path, I guess, from what it says on the back. But yeah, I think this is really cool. You might be sensing a pattern with these Aconite books. All right, we're almost finished. This one I just got, and I actually bought 2 copies because I gave one to my mother. This is The Jewish Book of Horror, edited by Josh Schlossberg. I apologize. Forward by Rabbi John Carrier. Just seemed really interesting. It's an anthology of horror stories, obviously, by Jewish authors. I shouldn't assume that they're all Jewish, but I do. With Jewish groundings? I don't know. Authors like Daniel Braum, Ken Goldman, Elena Gomel. I apologize, as always, when I ruin someone's name. But this just seems really interesting. And it's always good to delve into things that you're not really familiar with. Sure, it's through horror, but maybe I'll learn something. This actually sort of has inspired me to look for other collections, other anthologies of different religions, horror, different nationalities, horror, different races, horror. You know what I'm saying? I think that'd be an interesting little collection to have. And then, finally, all right, we're down to the last 3 books. These just arrived today. We have The Reyes Incident, if that's how you say that, by Brianna Morgan. This is her latest, I believe. I dig her stuff, and I look forward to reading this. And it should be a quick, nice read. And it might have killer mermaids in it. I don't know. Then, you know what? I'm going to save this one for last because it is... we'll get to it. The penultimate book here in this long-ass book haul video. Mercury Rising by R.W.W. Green. And this is from Angry Robot, who have a new little logo there. I'm not familiar with this author, but I subscribe to the Angry Robot newsletter, and so they always, tell you what's coming out, and this sounded like a fun book. So I figured I'd pick it up. I did the whole going on to Amazon and reading the first chapter, or starting the first chapter anyway. I was hooked. It seems like it's going to be a fun sci-fi adventure. And finally, a book I have been waiting for quite some time, It just came out. I'm recording this on Saturday, May 14th. This book came out on Friday, May 13th. I'm so excited for this. As soon as I finish the trilogy I am currently reading, this is the next book on my list that I am going to read. I am so happy for the author. This is Sausages, The Making of Dog Soldiers by Janine Pipe. It is from Encyclopocalypse Publications. Is that what they're called? Publications, books, I never know. And this is what it said. It's The Making of Dog Soldiers. Janine, it's her favorite movie. She got to interview Neil Marshall, the director, writer-director, all of the actors, the people in front of the camera, behind the camera. She got to interview people that have nothing to do with the movie, that are just super fans of the movie. It has, where does it tell me that it has? A foreword from Joe Dante, an afterword from John Landis, never before seen behind the scenes photos filled with anecdotes, how this came to be, the proposal, script pages, I think. Janine is fantastic. She is a great writer. She's a publisher. She is a horror cheerleader. She is a wonderful person. And I am so happy that she was able to do this. She's working her ass off, and she's tight-lipped about certain things, seems to have some big things in the works. And I'm just so happy to see her being so successful. And I love the movie Dog Soldiers. I love behind-the-scenes stuff. So you combine that with just my absolute adoration and happiness for Janine Pipe. This was a must-have and a must-read for me. So excited for this. As soon as I finish the trilogy that I'm reading, that Arkham Horror trilogy that I'm reading. Did I mention that's what I'm reading? I don't know. But anyway, this is absolutely next on the list. Top of the TBR. So there you go. And that's it. That's just a bunch of random stuff that I've gotten since the last time I posted a book haul. I know there's other stuff that I haven't shown you, unless you follow my Instagram, where I post pictures of all the books I get. But those were I pulled them off the tops of the piles of books, the many piles of books that I have. So there you go. That's a bunch of books. My question for this video, as always when I do a book haul, which one out of however many books that is the most interesting to you? You don't have to pick just one. That was a lot of books. What catches your eye? What is the book that you would be interested in? Book or books that you would be interested in reading? Obviously, I want to read them all. And I'm most excited about Sausages. So that's my answer. Let me know in the comments below. And if you have any comments, questions, or corrections, please put them in the comments below. Comments are open for spoilers, but I didn't review anything, so I don't know. But if we are going to talk spoilers, post spoiler warning. We try to be polite here on my channel. Please like, share, and subscribe, all that YouTube stuff. And if you'd care to follow me on other social media, my Twitter is @Ronin5757. My Instagram, where I post pictures of books, comic books, board games, and fuzzy animals, is EricSmith5757. That's Eric with a K, ERIKSMITH5757. That's all I've got for you. So until next time, read more books.